What happens after Steve Nash's departure from the Brooklyn Nets? Well, that question is on the mind of many fans and lovers of the Nets. Many NBA teams are known for their reputation, success, and records depending on players, prowess, and teamwork. However, some run into a loop of bad luck that can destroy their reputation and honor. And in light of the occurrences at the Nets, well, all we can say is Brooklyn Nets are doomed. But why are the Brooklyn Nets doomed? That question will be taken apart in this video and the answer put together piece by piece. If you're ready, let's get right into it. Only 2 years ago, the Brooklyn Nets seemed to be an NBA superpower. In 2021, they added James Harden, giving them the NBA's most effective offensive trio with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, only to part ways with Harden a year later. Since then, they have veered away from winning the championship due to injuries, trade requests, vaccine skepticism, off-court interruptions, firings, and other problems. The Nets added gasoline to the fire by sacking head coach Steve Nash and then going after Ime Udoka, a move many consider shameful, with the recent rumors surrounding the man who coached the Boston Celtics to the NBA Finals last season. This was later overturned as they named Jack Vaughn as head coach. As if that wasn't enough to deal with, Nets star Kyrie Irving posted a controversial post on social media which seemed to be in support of anti-Semitic views. But more facts establish why the NBA season might push the Brooklyn Nets over the cliff. The Nets are bad and have ratings that even the Lakers find depressing. They started 1-5 and ranked last in defense through the first 6 games. Their offense, which was their redeeming factor, is visually unimpressive and statistically unremarkable. Brooklyn's starting 5 are terrible, and its backup is either too inexperienced or too one-dimensional to make a difference on both ends. Brooklyn Nets ranks second half of the table in the rate of defensive rebounds and cannot use Ben Simmons at the 5 as frequently as they could, given their incredibly small front court. Ben's positioning suffers when paired with another big shot who can't shoot. The team's more serious problems, on the other end, will be made worse by moving Simmons to the center, even though doing so would open things up. Despite the huge names, it is a disappointing team. On paper, they have a shot at a strong postseason run. These issues, if they seem much, are numerous. However, they also seem insignificant in comparison to the unsolved chemistry and identity concerns that result from Brooklyn's desire to be led by 3 celebrity personalities who are extremely erratic and unreliable. But we won't forget the mistake of one of those 3, Kyrie Irving. The most accurate way to characterize Kyrie, once known primarily as a highly gifted basketball genius, is as a crude, unintelligible personality who is not only susceptible to believing almost any conspiracy he reads online, but also driven to spread it to his millions of fans, regardless of how unfounded or hurtful the claims may be. In response to recent inquiries to post on Twitter a URL to an anti-Semitic video, he gave quite insensitive replies. The video is a 2018 documentary titled Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America, a movie that supports anti-Semitic themes. "I won't back down from anything I stand for," Irving declared, "because I'm not by myself, I'm just going to be stronger. I am surrounded by an entire army." Although it may be difficult to comprehend how the Nets ended up in this position as an on- and off-court embarrassment, it is really simple to follow up on the drama. Since Durant and Irving originally boarded and burned down to the self-sacrificing mindset that initially drew them in, they have gone through many revisions. The initial James Harden trade was a game-changing transaction that got things moving. Brooklyn lost 3 first-round picks, 4 pick swaps, Karis LeVert, Jarrett Allen, who was perfect for these Nets, Taurean Prince, and other players in exchange. A super team that was unstoppable and appeared destined to glide down Flatbush Avenue while smiling on and passing the Larry O'Brien Trophy were the results of the early returns that resulted in the best offense in NBA history. However, bad luck struck hard in the 2021 playoffs. Harden tore his hamstring. Irving hurt his ankle after landing on Giannis Antetokounmpo's foot. Durant's toe cost them what would have been a series-clinching score, and the Nets lost to the eventual winners Milwaukee Bucks in 7 games. After a few months, Harden decided to move on to Philadelphia in search of greener pastures, mainly as a result of Irving's self-persuasion that the life-saving vaccine regulations were unjust and that he was therefore unable to play. The Nets exchanged Harden for a weak Simmons, resulting in a first-round sweep. Fast forward to 3 months ago, when Durant, in a misguided final move, asked Nets owner Joe Tsai to dismiss his head coach and general manager after making one of the most outrageous trade demands in NBA history. But did he? Not at all. The Nets are now in a more competitive conference than they were a year ago. Still, unfortunately, they are also undersized, elderly, lacking in tradable assets, and heavily reliant on a gifted trio of injury-prone malcontents. The situation is dire but not hopeless. Yet, there are still some reasons to be hopeful, albeit with some restrictions and wishful thinking. Despite returning to play after their separate ankle operations, Joe Harris and Seth Curry are still not fully healthy. Both are extremely important because they are two of the greatest three-point shooters in the franchise, even if neither provides a concrete fix for the team's defensive problems. And finally, to the final blow, Steve Nash's departure. Following a 2-5 start to the season, the Nets and head coach Steve Nash made the decision to part ways. This was a move that many in the league anticipated considering what happened with Kevin Durant in the offseason. Durant made it plain to owner Joe Tsai that he wanted Tsai to pick between him and both general manager Sean Marks and Nash when he demanded a trade from Brooklyn in the summer and supported his request with evidence. In the end, there was a mutual understanding between the two parties, and Durant chose to stay in Brooklyn with Nash as the head coach. However, this did not last very long. Into the 2022-23 season, the Nets have high hopes for themselves, so Steve Nash's departure is not necessarily an unexpected decision. Patience is essential. We should also consider the team's agenda. Steve Nash called Brooklyn's defeat to the struggling Pacers a tragedy. Unpredictable but opportunistic are the next phases of the Nets' progress. Since the first reports of KD's discontent, the straight-star swap of Durant for Anthony Davis has proven to be the most entertaining phony transaction. The Nets would acquire a more youthful big man who can boost their defense and perhaps someday match the superstar Durant was a few years ago. A single deal cannot fix the numerous problems on both teams, but there are a few solutions to the problem, and entering status only guarantees fool's gold play in participation. However, not every aspect of life is worth saving. Nash's dismissal would not make anyone happier or allow someone else to get victories by applying defensive strategies while waving a magic wand. The Nets are certainly too expensive to be destroyed, but what use is a financial investment if all it does is wring out misery? Starting over may not be the worst option after all. Despite losing all those future options, we have seen that movie before, so it is not totally unexpected. Or perhaps something quite stunning is planned. We have no idea what will transpire in Brooklyn. Would the Nets scale through their matches, or would the playoffs be too high for the Nets to reach? Let us know if the Nets are doomed, or they may still have a shot at the playoffs in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and goodbye for now.